जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुनातीरावनचारी यमुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय जय प्रभुपाद श्रील प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद श्री निताय गौरचंद्र भगवान की श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter number 13, entitled as Dhritarashtra Quits Home. This is text number 16. Yudhiṣṭhiro labdha-rājyo dṛṣṭvā pautraṁ kulam-dharam bhrātṛbhir loka-pālābhair mumude parayā śriyā yudhiṣṭhiro labdha-rājyo dṛṣṭvā pautraṁ kulam-dharam bhrātṛbhir loka-pālābhair mumude parayā śriyā yudhiṣṭhiro labdha-rājyo dṛṣṭvā pautraṁ kulam-dharam bhrātṛbhir loka-pālābhair mumude parayā śriyā
Yudhiṣṭhiro labdha-rājyo Yudhiṣṭhiro labdha-rājyo dṛṣṭvā pautraṁ kulan-dharam dṛṣṭvā pautraṁ kulam-dharam bhrātṛbhir loka-pālābhair bhrātṛbhir loka-pālābhair mumude parayā śriyā mumude parayā śriyā Yudhiṣṭhiro labdha-rājyo Yudhiṣṭhiro labdha-rājyo dṛṣṭvā pautraṁ kulam-dharam bhrātṛbhir loka-pālābhair mumude parayā śriyā
Mataji.
Yudhiṣṭhiro labdha-rājyo dṛṣṭvā pautraṁ kulam-dharam bhrātṛbhir loka-pālābhair mumude parayā śriyā Yudhiṣṭhiro labdha-rājyo dṛṣṭvā pautraṁ kulam-dharam bhrātṛbhir loka-pālābhair
So word to word translation. Yudhiṣṭhira, Yudhiṣṭhir, labdha-rājyo, possessing his paternal kingdom. Dṛṣṭvā, by seeing. Pautram, the grandson. Kulam-dharam, just suitable for the dynasty. Bhrātṛbhir, by the brothers. Loka-pālābhair, who were all expert administrators. Mumude, enjoyed life. Parayā, uncommon. śriyā, opulence. The translation purport by Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Having owned his kingdom and observed the birth of one grandson competent to continue the noble tradition of his family, Mahārāja Yudhiṣṭhira reigned peacefully and enjoyed uncommon opulence in cooperation with his younger brothers, who were all expert administrators to the common people. Both Mahārāja Yudhiṣṭhira and Arjuna were unhappy from the beginning of the battle of Kurukshetra. But even though they were unwilling to kill their own men in the fight, it had to be done as a matter of duty. For it was planned by the supreme will of the Lord Sri Krishna. After the battle, Mahārāja Yudhiṣṭhira was unhappy over such mass killings. Practically, there was none to continue the Kuru dynasty after them, the Pandavas. The only remaining hope was the child in the womb of his daughter-in-law, Uttara. And he was also attacked by Ashwathama. But by the grace of the Lord, the child was saved. So after the settlement of all disturbing conditions and re-establishment of the peaceful order of the state, and after seeing the surviving child, Parikshit, well satisfied, Mahārāja Yudhiṣṭhira felt some relief as a human being. Although he had very little attraction for the material happiness, which is always illusory and temporary. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guroho Shrivatā Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamsha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamimiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschate Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaurattushe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vansha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I seek the blessings of all the devotees that I can speak something. We discuss something about the great personalities here from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Let it be as a glorification of these great personalities, glorification of Lord, and also for my purification. Hare Krishna. So here we are seeing the Dhritarashtra quits home, the whole series. It begins with the way how Vidura has come back and with the whole purpose of getting the Dhritarashtra out. Because he also heard in Bhagavatam many personalities left their homes, but he felt one could not. So let me go and help him. So just now we saw some days back we are seeing this whole series how Yudhiṣṭhira Maharaj is welcoming the Vidura. The guest welcoming, the guest reception is so nicely explained. And here now today's shloka, what we are seeing is now all kind of disturbances, the problems, the crisis situations, dangers, whatever this whole Pandava family they suffered, now all things are like gone away, and now they are peacefully ruling the whole kingdom. The Yudhiṣṭhira Maharaj is ruling, and his brothers are supporting him in all kind of administrative work. And now Yudhiṣṭhira Maharaj is happy to see that now I have a competent person ready now who can take over the things ahead. So here, in the beginning of purport, Prabhupada is writing how both Maharaj Yudhiṣṭhira and Arjuna were not happy to participate in that battle of Kurukshetra. But they still participated, they did their duties with the whole purpose of pleasing Lord Krishna. Because Lord Krishna wanted, it was the will of Lord. Yeah, later on Bhishma also told that it was all thing, what is happening in your life, you are so fortunate that this is ordained by the Supreme Lord directly. Yes. So just to please the Lord, on his instructions, they participated in this war, the ghastly war. Towards the end of purport, Prabhupada is writing, this Mahārāja Yudhiṣṭhira felt some relief as a human being, although he had very little attraction for the material happiness, which is always illusory and temporary. So, amazing quality of devotee we can see here. They're very much responsible to do service, yet having detached spirit. Yes. Devotee lives always in renounced temperament. Prabhupada writes one of the purport in case of Vidura, renounced temperament. So here we see in case of Yudhiṣṭhira, the way he ruled the whole kingdom in the beginning of 10th chapter I was reading yesterday. So there the Shaunaka Rishis, they're asking, after hearing from Bhishma, how Yudhiṣṭhira Maharaj, he ruled the whole kingdom. So Suta Goswami further explains, and in that he was writing how he says how Yudhiṣṭhira Maharaj so nicely ruled. So what we say is phalena parichayate. Just by seeing the fruits we can understand what kind of tree is this. So like that we see the way how Yudhiṣṭhira Maharaj ruled, we can see from the results. So this is 10th chapter here in first canto only. 4th, 5th and 6th shloka also speaks about this. It says, the translation I'll read. During the reign of Mahārāja Yudhiṣṭhira, the clouds showered all water that people needed, and the earth produced all the necessities of man in profusion. Due to its fatty milk bag and cheerful attitude, the cow used to moisten the grazing ground with milk. Such amazing was the rule of Yudhiṣṭhira Maharaj, that all kind of this rain was so nicely, because rains are the one who helps us to get the grains. But current situation is most of times we see the grains are gone because of rains. Because untimely rains. It was supposed should not be raining that time. Grain were like supposed to be taken out from the farm, but now it rains and then the whole thing is gone. So, but Yudhiṣṭhira Maharaj so nicely ruled. The rain was so nicely coming, and cows were so happily moving around, and with their milk bag filled, moistening the grazing ground. Yes. Not just this, but even the next shloka says, the rivers, oceans, hills, mountains, forests, creepers, and active drugs in every season paid their tax quota to the king in profusion. Such way he ruled. Prabhupada writes in the purport, the king is supposed to rule as per the instructions as a representative of Lord. He should follow the instructions of Lord given in the Shastras and then rule. Yes. Then there will be opulences, these natural opulences. Otherwise, these natural opulences of grains, fruits, nice rainwater cycle, and then minerals, the precious stones and gems. These are like natural resources. We cannot manufacture them. No one can manufacture them. We can receive them as a gift from the nature. But when nature will provide, when the mother nature will provide, when we have a responsible king, a responsible leader who is ruling the whole country as per the instructions given the Shastras by Lord. So that's how we see how not just the in general kings who paid the taxes, but even the nature is also giving the taxes, submitting their taxes, tax quota to the king. So that's how so responsibly Yudhiṣṭhira Maharaj ruled the whole kingdom. Later on, we'll get to see that how Arjuna brings that news that Lord is no more. He has went back to his abode, Vaikuntha. So hearing that, Yudhiṣṭhira Maharaj immediately he enthrones his grandson Parikshit Maharaj, and then immediately, without speaking any word to his family members, he leaves. He leaves. And seeing him, his all brothers and Kunti Maharaj, they also followed. So that's how we see a devotee's life is. They did so much, and hardly they could, like Yudhiṣṭhira Maharaj was king only around 35 years, around 35 years only. And as soon as he heard Lord Krishna has left, he also left. Because whole thing he did only to please Lord Krishna. Now he is only not there. Then he immediately installed Parikshit Maharaj, enthroned Parikshit Maharaj on the throne, and then he left. Yes. So that's how we see the responsible yet detached. The Prabhupada gives another example of here in the purport about Arjuna. Same case, Arjuna was very responsible to do service, yet detached from the results. So that's that we see in the 7th chapter here in the same canto, 7th chapter where son of Drona punished Ashwatthama. So there Ashwatthama, he mercilessly killed the 5 sons of Draupadi. And seeing that, immediately Arjuna promised to Draupadi that I will get the head of this killer, this Ashwatthama. And then immediately he boards his Rath with Krishna as a chariot driver. And they are running behind Ashwatthama. And Ashwatthama, out of fear, he also starts running. And later on, his horse has become very tired. Then he got down from the chariot and was start running like that on the ground. But later on, he could understand it's not possible. I'll be soon caught. Then out of fear, he releases the Brahmastra. So there in the purport he says, this is the irresponsible behavior of non-devotees or selfish behavior, where person to protect his life, he is ready to even put whole universe into danger, all other living beings into danger. He knew only how to shoot the Brahmastra, was not knowing how to retract back. So there Lord Krishna told to Arjuna. Before that, Arjuna, seeing that situation, gets confused, bewildered. What is this? What is happening? He takes the shelter of Krishna, and then Krishna tells, oh, this is the Brahmastra released by Ashwatthama. So you also release another Brahmastra and retract both. So that's how very responsibly he retracts the Brahmastra and saves the universe. And there he caught the Ashwatthama, just like animal it is explained, and brings him back to Draupadi. There, now seeing the situation of this Ashwatthama, Draupadi, he feels very compassionate and he says, he's also actually a Brahmana, son of our Guru. It's not good that we kill him. And after Dronacharya has left for Kripi, his wife, the only hope is her son. I can experience the kind of emotions of loss of sons. I can understand then how much Kripi, his mother also will suffer. Better leave him. So there now so much of endeavors went to catching this Ashwatthama, and now he is there right in front with one shot he will be gone. But now Draupadi is telling, no, better don't kill him, leave him. And Krishna also initially told we should punish him, but later on he told Arjuna, now you only decide, you have to please both. You have to please Bhima also and you have to please Draupadi also. Bhima is telling, kill him, right away you kill him, there is no forgiveness. But Draupadi is saying, no, you should leave him. So there we see how Arjuna so maturely killed Ashwatthama, not killed also. He insulted. For Kshatriya, insult is as good as death. So he just insulted him and left him. So that's how we see he was responsible, did its service, and also was detached from the results. So another his example, the Parikshit Maharaj example also can be taken. How Parikshit Maharaj also was so responsibly ruling the king. It is said that it is not just he received the kingdom in family lineage, that after Pandavas he is the one, he is supposed to get it, therefore he got it. No, later on he proved also, he challenged that if is there anybody want to fight, he can come and fight. But nobody came in front to fight with him. So that's how he showed he was capable to rule the whole kingdom. And very nicely he was ruling the kingdom. Yes, there's one other management style, MBMA of management. Management by moving around. So he was managing the whole kingdom. And once he was moving around and he saw the cow and the bull getting tortured by another person who was dressed in a kingly fashion. And seeing cow and bull getting disturbed by this person, immediately he stopped. This Parikshit Maharaj stopped that person. That person was Kali personified. And there, with so much of anger, he was ready to even kill Kali right on the spot. But Kali, he became very fearful and took shelter of Parikshit Maharaj. And as a Kshatriya rule, we are supposed to, this Kshatriya is supposed to offer the shelter. So there he offered, okay, I'll give you shelter. But here we see like reconciling the situations. How one moment he was very angry and ready to punish, ready to kill this person. And the next moment, very gentle, smiling, compassionately spoke to Kali. Yudhiṣṭhira, this Parikshit Maharaj knew, if I give the shelter to Kali, if Kali is around, then all kind of nefarious activities, all kind of bad activities, breaking four regulative principles, and things will happen like this. And that will disturb the whole civilization, the whole community. But he has taken the shelter, where I'm supposed to give shelter. Then he gave the 5 places where these 4 regulative principles are broken, and the 5th one is where there is excess of gold. It is said where there is excess of gold, by default these 4 activities, the regulative principles will be broken. So he gave these 5 places to Kali. And on the other hand, he makes sure people are busy doing Sankirtan and engaged serving the Supreme Lord. That way the 4 regulative principles are not broken, but very much followed. So like this we see how Parikshit also very nicely reconciled. This is one of the quality of devotee, how he reconciles the such difficult situations also. And later on, when we know the episode of how out of hunger, lot of hunger and thirst, he put that dead snake around the neck of Shamik Rishi, and his son, he curses the Parikshit Maharaj. So Parikshit Maharaj had that ability to counter curse or do something and stop that or to get rid of that curse. But he did not. He accepted that as an special arrangement of Lord for him. I'm so attached to this whole kingdom. So this nice arrangement done by the Lord to leave me from this thing. And he accepted immediately, enthroned his son Janmejay, and he left and took shelter of the Brahmanas. Yes, there, like we will get to see in the 17th, 18th, 19th chapter, how he is accepting the shelter of these Brahmanas. One sense he received the curse from the Brahmana, but still understood, for my benefit, I need to go and take the shelter of devotees only. So he took shelter of devotees and was later on offered prayers that let it be that whatever magical snake, the bird snake, the Brahmana boy has cursed me to die with, let it come and kill me. You please go on singing the glories of Lord Vishnu. Yes, I want to hear now glories of Lord Vishnu. You speak Krishna Katha. I will like to hear that. So that's how we see a devotee is again Parikshit Maharaj, responsible yet having this detached spirit. Yes. There's one nice story comes about a disciple of Madhvacharya, Srila Narahari Tirtha. He was a sannyasi, and Madhvacharya told him, can you please get me the deities of Mool Ram deities. Now these deities are very special deities. These deities initially worshipped by Lord Brahma, then it comes down to Vaivasvat Manu, and then down to the Ikshvaku, and then down to Dashrath Maharaj. Then Lord Ram himself also worshipped the same deities. Then he handed over these deities to Lakshman. Then further he gave that deities to Hanumanji. Hanumanji used to keep these deities in his neck hanging and used to go around. And later on in the Dwapar Yuga, when Lord Krishna and the Pandavas were there, he gave these same deities to Bhima. And down the line we see this Bhima later on gave these deities to Kalinga kings, the Gajapatis. And now these deities were with the Gajapati kings in their treasury. Now Narahari Tirtha was thinking how I can go and approach king and how to get those deities for my spiritual master. So he went there and was sitting in the kingdom of this Gajapati kings. And during that time, what happened is somehow, because of some reasons, this king untimely died, and his prince, the son, was infant baby, was not ready to take over the king. So ministers were in great confusion what to do. Who can be the king till the time our prince gets ready? So then they devised a plan that we have one royal elephant, we'll give a garland to this elephant, and will go in the kingdom. Then whoever this elephant will garland, that person will choose as a king. And next day, along with the ministers, the elephant was going around the kingdom. And somehow this elephant came close to Narahari Tirtha, where he was sitting below a tree chanting, and directly garlanded him there. And there Narahari Tirtha was also not knowing what is this. Then ministers explained, we had a so and so plan. So he also accepted that maybe the Lord's plan for me to get those deities. And there we see a Narahari Tirtha as a sannyasi. He was ruling the kingdom for 12 years, almost for 12 years he was there. Now it's not so easy for being in a renounced order and be around with so much of opulence. It was not so small institute or organization you are running. There is a whole kingdom with so much of treasury, opulences, and followers, and so many things around to rule it. But he did it very responsibly for 12 years. And then when the prince was ready, then seeing such sincere and honest loyalty of Narahari Tirtha towards the whole kingdom in his service, they expressed, please ask for something. We want to do some reciprocation with you. Then he asked, I want that deity which you have in treasury, the Moolam deities. And towards the end, he just came out with the deities and gave them to his spiritual master. So that's how we see like how a renounced temperament, detached. He very responsibly ruled the kingdom, but yet very detached from the. He did not take anything out of that kingdom, just these deities. He went with that purpose and came back with the same purpose. Very focused service did. Yes. The similar thing we can see in Srila Prabhupada also, how he was responsible also and detached also. Yes. I was reading yesterday some Prabhupada Lila pastimes, where one Mataji was sharing. It was in Toronto, where Prabhupada had visited. And that time, one devotee was doing offering. He did offering, came out of altar. And Prabhupada could see some devotee was constantly going in altar and coming back, going in altar and coming back. He asked that devotee, what are you doing? His offering is going on, we should not be going inside. But what this devotee was doing, he was getting hot chapatis from kitchen and getting in offering altar and keeping in Lord's plate. They thought we do this service to Prabhupada also. Very hot chapatis one by one we get from kitchen, right from tawa, and offer it to Prabhupada. So like that they are doing it for the deities also. Prabhupada told, no, we should not be doing like that. At other time, Mataji is sharing that we had a small deities. So understanding that we were cooking little rice, little chapati, and little everything. Prabhupada told, what is this? What are you doing? We should feed the Lord, just like understand how a 16-year young boy needs. Very that much we should be serving that much amount of prasadam. And also many things they did, not knowing, very innocently. They're trying their best to serve nicely, but making some mistakes, like doing abhishek of deities. For that, like taking Lord Jagannath to bathroom, bathing him very nicely in a warm soap water. And got some towel from Brahmacharya ashram and very nicely dried and brought back in altar. So many things, like in San Francisco, what they did, immediately the next day of installation, Prabhupada went to take darshan of the deities and he saw Jagannath missing. What happened? Where is Jagannath? And devotees told Prabhupada, our devotees, they went for Sankirtan and they took Jagannath also with him. Where are they? He told nearby there is a Golden Gate Park. So in the garden they are there doing Sankirtan. So Prabhupada immediately rushed to that place and saw the Jagannath was there and devotees sitting around doing Sankirtan. Many other people also came. Then Prabhupada also went, sat there, did Kirtan. And then later on, after coming back, he told to the devotees, actually, this is not the way we should be serving the Lord, taking care of Lord. Only once in a year, he told about Jagannath Puri. Only once in a year, Lord comes out of the temple. That is called Rath-yatra. Other times, he remains in the temple. You should serve the deities there in the temple only. So that's how we see, like, for a teacher, it's very important quality is to having this patience and tolerance in training. Otherwise, very difficult. You tell people and they misunderstand something else only. Therefore, Adishampu tells, when you tell somebody, better once again ask him, what did you understand? Many times you tell something and he repeats something else only. Yeah. Like I told one new cook to make one what is a lemongrass tea. And while doing that lemongrass tea, he did that. I went for morning program and he did that. And after morning, I came and checked. Oh, where is that? It is there in the kitchen. Only you can take. I went in kitchen, saw it was not there. I told, where is that? Then he only came and showed me that vessel where that lemongrass was there. Where is the water? That I threw. He was not knowing that water is supposed to be taken, grass was supposed to be thrown. He kept the grass and threw the water only. So, while training for a teacher, very important to know, very important quality to have patience and tolerance. That's how Prabhupada was having. So, seeing such things amongst the disciples, so one place Prabhupada offered praise to deities that please take care of yourself and also the devotees. I cannot be here all the time because I need to preach all over the world. So he was very responsibly helping. Like one place, Prabhupada, okay, one new person entered the one temple, and the pujari, something happened to pujari, and pujari, he left the altar, left the temple also, and on the way told this person, you worship the deities, I'm going. Now he's new person, he was not knowing anything. And he told, oh, these items are there, you pick up one and just rotate. And okay, then Pujari left, and then this person, new person, picked up and he started one by one worshipping. But after that he realized, I did not ask how long I'm supposed to rotate. one item for half an hour he was like rotating. Now there are 8 items, it took 4 hours. He told, now 4 hours for one time, 6 times is 24 hours. Maybe I'm making some not proper. Then he wrote later to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada told how to and sequence and how much he should offer. So, so that's how we see, like Prabhupada very responsibly was spreading this Krishna consciousness everywhere, and yet having that detachment. Yes. Once His Grace Radhishampu asked to His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, how you manage so many temples? You are managing more than 40 temples, and temples like we have NVCC or like Juhu or Delhi temples. How you manage? Here we are struggling to manage one temple only. Maharaj told, you can also manage, just you need to have little detachment. So we need this both responsible and also yet the detached spirit. But sometimes what happens, like if in the name of responsibility, person may get attached also. Like we see in case of Rahugana in the 5th canto, where he one of his, like he was going to Kapila ashram, and on the way one of his servant, the palanquin carrier, bearer, he could not serve properly. Then there was a need of one more extra person, and then they found the Jad Bharat nearby only, very healthy person. Then he forcibly employed him, and made him carry the palanquin. So there now, in case of Jad Bharat, he was seeing the ants, and then in order to protect the ants, he was like stepping and walking in that way. But the palanquin was getting a jerk, and king was getting jerked, sudden breaks. So he chastised Jad Bharat, saying that, initially sarcastic way he spoke, that maybe, oh, you are very thin, and from so long you are carrying, and other people are not cooperating with you. So that may be the issue, but don't do it again. Please carry nicely. But Jad Bharat, he was like not having bodily consciousness, did not feel offended, still carried. Again, same jerks. And then Rahugana really became very angry and very strongly chastised him that, don't you understand how you should be serving your master? I'm a king. You're supposed to serve very nicely. Otherwise, I can punish you. I can give you death punishment also. So there, the Jad Bharat replied back, saying that, are you sure you're going to remain king and I'm going to remain your servant always? So hearing such amazing wisdom words from Jad Bharat, immediately Rahugana could understand, oh, I did some mistake. And then immediately he jumped from his palanquin, offered full prostrated dandvat pranam to Jad Bharat, and asked forgiveness that I don't fear anything else, the Brahmastra or Vajra or anything, but I really fear this one thing, this Vaishnava Aprant. So kindly forgive me and enlighten me further with this knowledge what you spoke. You are sharing that, temporary, that relationship master-servant. I'm a king, temporary. But being a king, I'm supposed to rule over the praja and engage them in the service. And if somebody is not obeying, I can punish them. Like this, he was like having a lot of pride also, and Bhagavatam explains he was completely into mode of passion and ignorance. But sadhu, by definition, one who cuts. Yeah, it comes in case of Prabhupada also. The Prabhupada, when he was writing the books, there was no ink in his pen, but was having fire, which can burn the ignorance of whole world. So sadhu means one who cuts the knots of attachment, the ignorance. So here the words of Jad Bharat was acting as a cutter for Rahugana, and he got enlightened. That he told, that is okay, but the thing is, you are employing these people as your servant and you are not even paying them. What is this? And of course, the episode goes further ahead. So here the point is, under the name of responsibility, Rahugana was actually attached to that particular service. Yes. So sometimes we may take that self-created duties. We take responsibilities of self-created duties. Like something like Ashwathama. Now his case, nobody told him to go and kill the 5 sons of Draupadi. He himself thought that I can please my superior like this. Did not ask to his boss, Duryodhan. He himself went, cut the heads of, murdered the 5 sons of Draupadi. And later on we see he could not please his superior, Duryodhan. And Ashwathama had to receive that insult also. And in case of then Bharat Maharaj also, you can see the same Jad Bharat in his previous life as Bharat Maharaj. He also, nobody told to take the responsibility of deer. He himself took the responsibility of deer. It was okay that that deer, baby deer was just flowing down the river. So he would have like taken that deer out of the water and left in the jungle like that. There was no problem even getting into the ashram. But further, what happened is when this deer is around, that deer is creating issue in his sadhana. While doing his spiritual duties, he's still thinking, oh, where is the deer? Where the deer has gone? So like that, he is like getting disturbed by the deer. That was the issue. Yes. Now here also he took the responsibility, but under the name of responsibility, he got attached. Yes. Now he had a huge kingdom to take take a responsibility of. He was having a family, wife, nice children, all opulences. He left all those things for the purpose of completely engaged in the service of Lord. But once again, the whole thing was coming back. The way he glorified even the deer, just like a prince, and again got attached to deer, and then next life he became a deer. So in the name of responsibility, sometimes person may get attached also. Yes. Or the other way around, in the name of detachment, person may become irresponsible also. Like in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, we see Arjuna giving the 5 reasons why I cannot fight. He was telling initially in name of compassion. They don't know, the other party don't know what they are heading towards. All of them will die. Better I can go once again back to the forest and take up this profession of begging. But Krishna is telling this will not work. This will not work. So initially he gave the reason of being compassionate, then also the fear of a sin, and the Varna Sankara may also come, because all these men will be killed, then the other women will be remain with the unsheltered, unprotected, then they'll be polluted, and the Varna Sankara, the unwanted population will come, and the whole civilization, whole community will be disturbed. And also then towards the end he expressed his indecision. I'm not able to understand. He is giving his own questions, his own answers. That doesn't work in spiritual life. Person is having his own questions, then he should be going to superior and asking, oh, I am having this question or doubt, how I can solve it. But here Arjuna, we see he's having his own questions and his own answers. But what happened? So he see here in case of Arjuna, he was having amazing skills. There is no dearth of skills. Yes, at that time he is the topmost. In whole universe, nobody could defeat him. Such amazing skills, but what he was missing is will. Skill was there, but will was missing. So that is the way leader is. Leader is supposed to inspire the subordinates, not just force them to do the things. Like that we see then Krishna very nicely inspired Arjuna that you are having this bodily consciousness. And then whole second chapter we see a lot of shlokas where Krishna is telling you are not this body but the spirit soul. So that's how we see. So I spoke about being responsible yet detached. Some examples where under the name of responsibility, person may get attached. The other way around, in the name of detachment, person may become irresponsible. So we need to learn this art of being responsible yet detached. We say, do your best and leave the rest to Krishna. So how much is too much? We have to mark that line. How much is too much? So 2009, His Holiness Radhanand Samaraj gave a wonderful series of classes, October 2009 in Kolkata. So there also similar question was asked to Maharaj, and there Maharaj answered, doing our best and leaving rest to Krishna means without compromising on our spiritual duties, mainly our morning program and sadhana, rest of the time we can use in doing the services. Yes, that services should not be so much that my morning program and sadhana is getting disturbed. Then that means workaholic situation where I'm unnecessarily extending it myself. And the main thing, the Bharat Maharaj case, taking care of deer is not an issue, but that should not lead to compromisation in the spiritual duties. So we should understand. Sometimes what happened, we have a lot of faith on the Lord's strength. That's how many people come and offer prayers to the Lord. But they don't have faith on the Lord's intelligence. भगवान के शक्ति पे भरोसा है पर बुद्धि पे भरोसा नहीं है. So understand that Lord has, we should have faith on both. भगवान के शक्ति पे भरोसा होना चाहिए और बुद्धि पे भरोसा होना चाहिए. So understanding that, that will help us to develop this detachment spirit in doing service. Hare Krishna. So we'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.